This is Tatiana Moroz, and you're listening to Journalistic Revolution.
Hello, fellow lovers of freedom. I'm your ever-happy host, Robert Wasmund, and welcome back to another episode of the Journalistic Revolution. On both this show and our radio show,
which you can hear on LibertyMovementRadio.com after Post Politics at Trippnwofighter,
we have a big problem with police murdering people in increasingly regularity. We do at least one story on it on every episode on Liberty Movement Radio.
On Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
And this story really shows the lack of compassion in our modern police force, or better known as the Imperial Standing Army. Video from a police dashboard camera shows how a victimless traffic stop can quickly devolve into an intense situation, where it eventually ended in a high-speed chase and a police officer shooting at a van full of innocent children. And here is that video. Whoosh!
71 back there and a 55, okay?
The incident began when a woman who police identified as Oriana Farrell was pulled over by a New Mexican state police officer.
I'll be right back. Go ahead and turn the vehicle off for me.
When the officer goes back to his car to check the paperwork, the woman drives away and is pulled over again by the same officer.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle right now.
After a few moments, the woman's 14-year-old son gets out of the car and tries to engage the officer, but the officer pulls his taser out and the teenager goes back in the car.
You're already facing evading charges right now. You ran away from me, okay?
Sir, I pulled back over. I didn't run away. You see my children. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I'm just trying to take them to the Rio Grande.
Eventually, the woman gets out of the car to talk to the officer, but when he tries to kidnap her, she tries to run back to the driver's seat of the car.
Turn around and face your vehicle. Ma'am, listen to me.
The incident quickly escalates as the woman's son tries to defend his mother from this costumed thug. Only after the officer aims his taser at the boy does he run back into the van. Bravest 14-year-old ever. As other gang members arrive, the woman and her family are locked inside. The officer takes out his baton and starts to break the windows of the van as he tries to get the family out of the car.
Open the door! Open the door!
At that point, the woman escapes the assault, and another officer who came on the scene later shoots 3 shots at the back of the minivan, even though 5 innocent children were in the back seat. The woman then leads the officers on a 10-minute chase before stopping in front of a hotel and turning herself in. Both the woman and her 14-year-old son were arrested. Of course, the officer who shot at the innocent children slept comfortably in his bed at night instead of being brought up on 3 attempted murder charges. And these aren't even isolated incidences, right, cameraman?
It's happening all over the place, man. You have to be held accountable for it.
My words exactly. Cops have killed well over 5,000 Americans since 9/11. Many of these killings took place with no-knock raids that has also increased by 4,000% since 9/11. Iraqi insurgents have killed about 3,500 Americans since 9/11 in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Afghan insurgents have killed around 2,000 Americans since 9/11 in Operation Enduring Freedom. Whoosh. The police are getting paid with our money to go on shooting sprees, and they are killing more of us than the terrorists from whom they protect us from. In fact, you are 8 times more likely to be killed by a cop than by a terrorist. As of 2010, the compared data lifted from Cato's NPMSRP shows that the reports of police committing sexual assaults mounted to more than 2 times the report in the entire general population. If officer-involved killings were prosecuted as murder, the murder rate for law enforcement officers would exceed the general population murder rate by at least 472%. And these are only the reported incidents. The vast majority of police misconduct and abuse is unreported. Who knows what the actual total is? If you are rightfully enraged by this obvious abuse of power, then I suggest that you go to CopBlock.org. They are, as stated on their website, whoosh. CopBlock is a decentralized project supported by a diverse group of individuals united by their shared goal of police accountability. We do not hate cops. We believe that no one, not even those with badges, have extra rights. The failure to realize and act on that is to our detriment. By focusing the disinfecting light of transparency on public officials, we safeguard not just our rights, but those of future generations. The NSA just can't seem to stay out of controversy.
Yeah, no, totally. My dad says that the NSA are listening to us like 24/7. I bet they're listening to us right now. Sick bastards.
The NSA has asked Linus Torvalds to inject covert backdoors into the free and open GNU Linux-based systems.
I'm on Linux, bitch. I thought you GNU.
This was revealed in this week's hearing on mass surveillance in the European Parliament. Chalk another one up of the United States NSA trying to make information technology less secure for everyone. The father of Linus Torvalds, Nils Torvalds, is a member of the European Parliament for Finland. This week, Nils Torvalds took part in the European Parliament's hearing on ongoing mass surveillance and brought a revelation. The United States Security Service, the NSA, has contacted Linus Torvalds with a request to add backdoors into the free and open operating system GNU and Linux. The story does not tell us how Linus Torvalds responded to the NSA, but I'm guessing he told them that he wouldn't be able to inject backdoors even if he wanted to, since the source code is open, and all changes to it are reviewed by many independent people. After all, that's the whole point of an open source code, and the reason that open source is the only kind you can trust when it comes to security. Still, it is interesting to hear that the NSA has tried to attack the Linux system and its creators. In this next video, Luke Rudowski of WeAreChange.org breaks down the latest developments in the Jeremy Hammond case that shows that the FBI entrapped members of Anonymous and used them to spy on governments around the world. Whoosh.
And how Jeremy Hammond was being orchestrated by Sabu, who was being used by the FBI to go after foreign governments. We're talking about Pakistan, Poland, Iraq, Nigeria, Iran, Slovenia, Greece, Brazil, Turkey, Syria, Puerto Rico, Colombia, and many other countries. The FBI gave specific information and specific exploits to go after.
I suggest that you watch the whole thing on We Are Change's YouTube channel and subscribe to Luke Rudowski. Just when you thought that the government couldn't fuck you anymore, the House of Representatives have passed a bill effectively making it illegal to protest anywhere in the United States. Whoosh. The U.S. House of Representatives voted 388-3 in favor of H.R. 347 late Monday, a bill which is dubbed the Federal Restricted Buildings and Grounds Improvement Act of 2011. In the bill, Congress officially makes it illegal to trespass on the grounds of the White House, which on the surface seems not just harmless and necessary, but somewhat shocking that such a rule isn't already on the books. The wording in the bill, however, extends to allow the government to go after much more than tourists that traverse in the wrought iron fence of the White House. Under the act, the government is also given the power to bring charges against Americans engaged in political protest anywhere in the country. Under current law, the U.S. White House trespassers were prosecuted under a local ordinance, a Washington, D.C. legislation that can bring misdemeanor charges for anybody trying to get too close to the president without authorization. Under H.R. 347, the federal law will formally be applied to such incidences, but will also allow the government to bring charges to protesters, demonstrators, and activists at political events and other outings across America. The new legislation allows prosecutors to charge anyone who enters a building without permission or with the intent to disrupt government function with a federal offense if Secret Service is on the scene. But the law stretches to include not just the president's Pennsylvania home. Under the law, any building or grounds where the president is visiting, even temporarily, is covered, as in any building or grounds restricted in conjunction with an event designated as a special event of national significance. You voted for this. You may not have known that you were voting for it, but you did. With a vote count of 388-3, that means both parties thought this was a wonderful idea. Enjoy your self-built cages. If you like this video, make sure that you subscribe. And you can also listen to us on LibertyMovementRadio.com every Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays from 11 to 1 a.m., right after Post Politics with Trip Pugh. Make sure to check us out on JournalisticRevolution.com and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. This is Journalistic Revolution saying, don't look to be free sometime in the future. Live free now.